Hello there, friend. Today's video is called Euphoria. Euphoria. You know, when bear markets come, people actually forget the sentiment and the feeling at the tops. I have this beautiful video here, this clip. I'm going to fast forward it, and we are going to go through all of my teachings with relation to this. It's a minute and a half, okay? This guy is getting very emotional over his Pudgy Penguin NFT JPEG. Let's go.
And I and my penguin is me, and I am my penguin.
Listen to that. I am me, and my penguin is me. See, I want you to know, right? People are not joining crypto for the code. The community is the asset. The community. Nothing to do with the code. No one cares that you spent 15 years making some mumbo jumbo. There is an innate yearning in every man and woman's soul. They want to belong. And in crypto, we get to connect internationally. And you get to tie financial bags with it. And it goes deeper than that. Your financial bags, it's the production of your own labor. The fruits of your labor, you invest it somewhere and then you can see it grow. We tie ourselves so strongly to this. This is why crypto is going to keep snowballing. Let's continue.
Oh my god. I was going through some crazy things, and thank God, like I said, I had some supportive people with me along the way.
I was going through some crazy things and I had some support and people along the way. You will know, right, if you go and check some Bitcoin maxis, I think, for example, Greg Foss, I remember in one of his interviews, he said, I think he was going through a very bad period of depression. Very dark cloud in his life. And the Bitcoin guys reached out to him. I forgot the exact story, but I remember that in one of his interviews. And I was like, man, I've got to use that. I've got to show my baby dolls. Do you see, friends? Do you see? When we're going through such an emotional turmoil in life, and then we connect with other people in the same vicinity of a community, the connection becomes super powerful. Super powerful, right? So this guy was going through a bad time in life. He comes across this JPEG. Yes, a JPEG of a penguin, and it has just bang, euphoria. All right, he has this innate connection. Happens with Bitcoin, happens with Ethereum, happens with every other coin, Hex, Chainlink, you name it, Doge, doesn't matter. The ones that were most powerful have this.
I've had some amazing people supporting me and constantly lifting me up. Now, the day of the mint, I minted so many other projects, and I invested not money, I invested me into these projects.
Do you see what he said? I invested not money, I invested me. Listen to this language. People go, this is all in. This is beyond the dollar amount, okay? This is euphoria.
And for some reason, when it came to the penguins, I didn't know much about Cole. I didn't know much about Mr. Tubby. I didn't know how amazing, how influential these two people were. I didn't know at that time. And
oh, man.
I didn't know what they were producing. And I said, you know what, I'll call out on this one, regardless of what everybody was telling me. I said, you know what, I'm going to call out on this one. I'm going to save some money. I have a girlfriend. Let me take her out to a nice dinner. And I find myself in a group chat with 18 whales.
So here we go. He finds himself in a group chat with 18 whales. So when the price goes up, people are active. The tourists come. The believers come. Everyone comes. Everyone joins a group. I want you to know something. Everybody is so caught up having a good time. Nobody thinks to bring up the chart and say, hey, you know, we're up 26x in a year, or we're up, 10x. No one thinks to do that. Everyone's busy. That's why you will be surprised how many people don't take profit as we go to new heights. Doesn't matter what coin it is. They're too busy having a good time. Just like the polar opposite of depression phase of a cycle. People are too busy suffering to even think, hey man, maybe we're undervalued. Maybe the world's not going to end. Right? Let's continue.
And all of them are telling me, these penguins, Cole, Mr. Tubby, these are people that we've never come across before. The devs, the Discord, the way that they're managing all of it, this.
The way they're managing everything.
This is absurd. This is something that's crazy. This is something that we have not seen before.
Do you see this? This is something we have not seen before. This is what you might call as new paradigm. This is a new paradigm, right? Friends. It's a JPEG of a cute little penguin, okay? So remember, this can happen to you. Don't think it can't happen to you, because it happens to everyone, okay?
I said I want to be a part of this.
He says, I want to be a part of this.
A few days later, this is it. The best damn thing I've ever done in my entire life. Every time I have a long day, things I can't explain to people, I look at my penguin and I smile.
That's right. When I have a long, hard day, I look at my penguin and I smile. They are getting something more than a monetary value. More. That's why people are joining crypto. We are connecting social groups together, and we've thrown in the spice of finance. We're sending value around, right? And this is forming groups like we've never seen. I don't know how this all ends. I don't know how this evolves. All I know is we're pretty early, because most people out there still call it a scam, Ponzi piece of trash. And I say to them, you are right. We are scam, Ponzi trashers. But we're going to keep going up. You know, when I tell people that, they get very upset when they're like, excuse me, you're supposed to be mega bullish. How can you say that? Look, man, if you can't bag out your own stuff, you ain't really that bullish. Because you think just because of you changing your mind in 5 seconds that suddenly everything disintegrates. It doesn't work like that, okay? If you want strong balls or strong ovaries, you want to be a strong man or woman, you have to put holes in your own argument, okay? I don't think anybody is thinking about that when these beautiful pudgy penguins are rallying with this. So the cute penguins, and that's what Euphoria sounds like. Euphoria sounds like this, ticked all the boxes, you know? Emotional, crying, I'm in the chat with whales. We've never seen anything like this before. New paradigm, right? And you got to learn, man. You got to learn. Now, I'm desensitized, okay? I'm like dead inside. Nothing like triggers me like this because I've seen everything, okay? I'm like a professional sports person. Like, there's nothing surprises me anymore, right? But if you see other people going through this, this is your warning sign. This is your warning sign, okay? Unfortunately, you're going to face the hard reality of the assets and the sectors which pump the highest. They probably are undiscovered by you. You don't believe in them, like JPEGs and Ponzi's and stuff. So they will pump the highest, but they will also have the clearest signals. So it's a matter of getting your feet wet in everything, because you just never know if you can get something and have a belief that other people are going to join it, and you get to see the clear signals. Wouldn't that be great? That's why you got to stick around, right? That's why it's almost easier to use Bitcoin as the beacon, right? You know, maybe Bitcoiners get euphoric at, I don't know, like, you know, maybe they get euphoric at 88, 100K, you know? Maybe they get euphoric and they think, you know, we're going 100 this time. We're going to 100 this time. Maybe that's what, you know, and you got to evaluate. Is that euphoric? Is that euphoric? I don't know. Or we get people out and then we fake out again and we come back down. We have to look out for these signals. But that's what euphoria sounds like. The polar opposite of depression. This euphoria is a drug. People are like entering here like they've never entered before because it's a good time. You know, good times beget good times and people joining the good vibes. You don't want that, man. This is when you're out. You know, it sucks that you got to think like that, but that's when you got to get out. That's when you think, you know, I think you're all full of crap. It's a JPEG, and eventually it ain't going to sunshine anymore. It's going to be rain, and you're going to question what the hell you were doing. You know, and that's just how it is. That's how markets are, right? And no matter what you tell people, they're not going to listen to you. Just like, how many times have I told people you should be accumulating? And you're super, super, super aggressive accumulating. Beep, 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 beep. Everybody's worried about that scenario, right? Everyone's worried about that scenario. But you know what no one's worried about? No one's worried about where you don't listen to me, your friend, okay? You don't listen to me. We go up here, and then now you're begging for a crash, and maybe you get it. And now you're up here, right? And then, okay, we're up like here, and it's euphoria again, but you don't believe it. Why? You know why you don't believe it? Because you bought here, man. This is why you don't believe the euphoria. You bought here, okay? You know, this reflects on Ethereum, Chainlink, Hex, all the altcoins, everything. So If you buy up here, like look at your return, man. You're buying at like 35k. You ain't too euphoric on a 2.4x. That ain't changing your life, all right? You know it. So it's very hard for you to actually say to me, yes, I agree, I am euphoric. Very hard to agree to that. And that's the most dangerous position of all, right? Because that's literally the worst time to be long. And we know this, man. So we're going to look back at this one day in the future and go, man, this guy had some clear signs of euphoria. And I want you to know, they come in different forms. Sometimes people make rap videos. Sometimes people do like extravagant things. You know who else got a bit, who capitulated, for example? Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff, I think here, made a tweet, right? I should have learned this, man. This set off the alarms. Peter Schiff's tweet was, now that Bitcoin has hit 50k, I will now admit it is more likely to hit 100k than zero. He literally capitulated, you know? And that's what I'm saying. That's his version of getting a capitulation. He's given up, right? And funny, that was literally the top. He literally said it's more likely to hit 100k than zero. And look what the market did. Oh no, you're actually right this time. Very funny, isn't it? So, you look for different signs. Unfortunately, there is no mathematical quantifiable formula. But when you see stuff like this is what we're going to know next time, right? This Pudgy Penguin stuff, I want you to know, right? In crypto, now we know the hard way. There is no bear market hedge. And if there is, it is not worth gambling on it. Because only like 3 coins out of 20,000 are a bear market hedge. Everything else is false. They're all lies. We're not going to make the same mistake again, okay? We're going to know next time. Whenever we see euphoria, even if it's another sector, even if people are euphoric about NFTs, gaming, metaverse, something else, anywhere else, right? And you're not long those coins, okay? Do not judge them and say, oh, well, you know, my coins barely started moving. No. That's not the wrong approach. The right approach is you must admit, you say, damn, I thought these dingleberries were going to buy my coin, but they didn't. They went and bought something else. Yes, they bought useless JPEG trash, but they have now all bought into something else. They are now euphoric. If my coin was going to rally, it would have rallied by now, and it's had all the time in the world. But the fact that it hasn't means you got to now start thinking about getting out. And you don't need to worry about like getting everything out. You know, you could just start saying, hey man, I'm just going to get out, I don't know, just 25%. Get something out. Because here's the thing, right? Even if you get 25% out and you keep it on the side, right, you now have like an option. You say, okay, this 25%, I only use it to buy deep capitulation and nothing else. So even if Bitcoin was down at 40k, 36k, that's not deep enough yet, you know, but when you started seeing the huge capitulations, right? So here, this is when you start going, okay, I've got to get Ethereum, I've got to get all this other stuff, right? And yeah, they still haven't played out yet, but this helps you. This helps you at least take some parts out and not be reliant on, you know, the trap of, oh, I've got to perfectly time it so that it never goes above my exit price. Because we know that's just a false game, right? It's a false game. So until next time, friends.